Hey guys, a very nice question under bearing and distances. So let me read the question through. An aircraft flies from port P on a bearing of 46 degrees to a port Q, a distance of 110 kilometers. It then changes direction and flies to a port R, 75 kilometers from Q, on a bearing of 100 degrees. Calculate correct to three significant figures. We have A, the distance PR, and B, we are to find the bearing of PR. Now let's move straight to solving this question. Now, solving this question, we must sketch this particular path, the bearing path. So let's sketch it together. Now, from the first statement, we are told that it is from P. Okay, it flew from P on a bearing of 46 degrees. So therefore, let me pick this point as my P, this point as my P. Now in bearing, every point, okay, must have the four directions, all right, north, east, west, and south. Now, remember we said bearing starts from the North Pole and goes clockwise. Now it is 46 degrees. Listen, you have to be able to represent it to look like a 46 degrees. I know right in the middle is 45, so it's almost 46. So I'm going to come here, okay? I'll get my 46. And remember, the distance, as we are told, is 110. So this is 110 kilometers. Now, this is very important. Let me show you something. If they say 46 and you now drew, let's say this is your 46, it doesn't make sense because here to here is 90. And just check out your 46. So this type of work does not make sense, okay? That is what I'm trying to point out. So we clear it out. But you see what we've done is approximately correct. Now, to this point, okay, at this point is my point Q. Now, even Q must have the four cardinal points. All right, good. So here is my Q. Then from the question, we are told that it then changes direction and flies to a port R. So therefore, and the direction is, the distance is 75 kilometers and the bearing is 100 degrees. Now see what I'm going to do. I'm going to come to point R. I will move from the north of R down. Once it gets to the place 90 plus 10. So it's just a little bit more than 90. So it's 75. Now I'm going to take this. This is my 75. I'll take this to be my 75. Now, there is something that I want you to take note of. 75 must actually be shorter compared to 110 kilometers. Some students make mistakes. Don't make that mistake, okay? Now, at this point, which we will still have our four cardinal point. Good. At this point is my point R. Now, it is our responsibility to join this. So I'm going to join it. Oh, wow. Okay, good. Now, this is 75 kilometers. And I have gotten everything that I want. Now, remember, this place is 46 degrees. All right. And remember, this side is 100 degrees. Now, since I've gotten my diagram, the next thing I'm to do is we're told that we should calculate to correct the three significant figures, the distance PR. So I'm looking for PR. Now, don't forget, this is my P, the starting point, right? So I'm looking for PR, this distance PR. Now, listen, in a triangle, this is how the orientation is. Remember, capital letters represent the angles, okay, and in this case the vertices, and the small letters represent the sides. So the side facing R, of course, is small r. This is small r, and the side facing Q is small q, and the side facing P is a small p. So all I'm looking for now in this case, which is our PR is the same thing as Q. So my PR is the same thing as this small q that I'm looking for. Now, in working this out, I'm going to use what we call the cosine rule. Now, I'm going to use this diagram to deduce my own cosine rule. Now, Q now, Q squared. Okay, I think let me change in for contrast sake, all right? So we start Q squared is equals to P squared plus R squared minus 2PR, then cos we have Q. Now, replacing the values, what I'm going to have is this. I'm going to have my Q squared is equals to 75 squared, because P is 75, plus 110 squared minus 2 into 75 times 110 cos. Now, okay, good. Now we need to get our Q. So let's come over and get our Q. Now, watch it out. Now, from here to here is actually 80. Then if here's 46, here is going to be 46, which is alternate, using knowledge of alternate angles. Now, once you combine these two, you are going to have 126 degrees. So actually my Q is 126 degrees. So that is angle Q. So angle at Q. So I'm going to have 1 cos 126 degrees. Now let me go over using your calculator. Effectively, you are going to have it this way. Q squared is equals to 75 squared is going to be 5625 plus 110 squared is 12100 minus 2. Now, once I work this out, I'm going to have 8250. Then cos 126 with our calculator is going to give us minus 0.5878. Okay, so we're moving. Now Q squared is going to be, when I sum these together, I'm going to have 17,725, then minus 16,500, then into minus 0.5878. Now working these two together, Q squared is going to be 17,725 minus these two. Now watch it out. This minus times this minus makes it plus. Now once I multiply it, I'm going to have 9698.7. Now Q squared is going to be, adding it together, I'm going to have 27423.7. But remember, my Q is going to be all root of 27423.7. Now, using your calculator and actually finding the square root, Q is going to be 165.601. But recall, we are told to leave it in 3 significant figures. So therefore, my Q will be 166 kilometers. So this is the first part of the question. So quickly, we are going to move to the second part of the question, which is the bearing of P from Q. Now, in finding the bearing of P from Q, now this is P. I think, is it P from Q? No, P from R. Okay, so this is P and this is R. Now, from R, the language says from R. Okay, very important. So it means that the base is R. That is, the base of our reference is R. So I'm going to come to R, right from the north of R, down to this. All right, that is my bearing. So therefore, what am I going to do now? Recall, this place is 80. So by alternate angles, this place is going to be what? 80 degrees. Now, all I have to do is to get this particular part. Now, once I get this, then I am going to get the bearing, the required bearing that I'm supposed to have. So therefore, kindly follow me. Let's do it together now. All right. So the B part of the question. Now this is what is going to be. Now, since we are actually looking for this angle R, we can conveniently use sine rule, where in this case we are going to have sine R all over small r is going to be sine Q all over Q. Now I decide to use this because we have every other parameter apart from this R. So we move. All right. So therefore, I'm gonna come here. I have my sine R all over R is equals to sine Q all over Q, which is the same thing as having sine R all over 110 is equals to sine 126 all over 165.601. Now, cross multiplying and simplifying further, I'm going to have 165.601 sine R is equals to 110 sine 126, where we have sine R will be equals to 110 sine 126 all over 165.601, which using calculator I'm gonna have 88.9919 all over 165.601. All right. Furthermore, sine R will be equals to 0.5374, which R will be sine inverse of 0.5374, which will automatically give us R, angle R, to be equals to 32.51. Now this is not the final thing. All we've been able to do now is to just get this, which is 32.51. So all we need to actually find our bearing now, that is the bearing of P from R. Okay, bearing of P from R will be, if you check the diagram very well, will be this 360 minus, then I'm going to have 32.51 plus 80. Okay, basically this is what I have. So I'm going to come down to this place, will be 360 minus, then we have 32.51 plus 80. All right, so this is 360 minus 112.51, which, if by my calculator, when I move further, I'm going to have the bearing as 247.49. Now, remember, we're told to keep everything to 3 significant figures, so it will be approximately 247 degrees. So basically, this question has been answered. You can go over this question, carefully, and it's wonderful. It's so clear. You understand what you need to do. All right. So thank you so much for listening, and make sure you don't forget to subscribe for more interesting videos.